Hello and welcome to Quest1 YouTube channel. This is Gurunatha Dogi, a MSBI expert and a technical developer with 14 plus years of experience. And today in this video I am here to demonstrate how to set up MSBI 2019 in our laptop or desktop. So today we are going to see the installation process of MSBI 2019, that is version 2019. So let's get started. In order to install the MSBI 2019 in our laptop or desktop, we need the following softwares. That is, the first and foremost software we require is Visual Studio 2019, that is VS 2019. The second software which we require is SQL Server 2019. So SQL 2019. And for the management of SQL Server, we need SSMS, that is SQL Server Management Studio for SQL Server 2019. So this is like SSMS 2019. Finally, we need a BI business intelligence softwares, that is integration services setup. Yes. Integration services setup. Then we need analysis services. Then finally we need reporting services. So all these setups we need to install in our laptop for running the MSBI properly into our system. So friends, let's get started with the software installation. So what we require now? We require Visual Studio 2019. So without wasting any time further, let's go and download the Visual Studio 2019. So for that, I'm going to open up my Mozilla Firefox browser. As you can see here, I have already searched in the Google, that is I want Visual Studio 2019. So friends, the same way you guys also can search in the Google search console and get this link, so that is visualstudio.microsoft.com/downloads. So this is the link, this is the official link, this is the official Microsoft website. So here you are going to get the Visual Studio 2019 Community Edition, Professional Edition and Enterprise Edition. So as per your choice and taste, you can download these setups. So since this is the demonstration purpose only, this video, so for this I am going to download the free version, that is the developer edition, that is the community edition, which I am going to download here. So I will say download. As you can see, we have successfully downloaded the setup. As you can see here, let me just click on this setup. Remember, this is just an installer, VS installer. So actual setup will start once this installer completes. So I will say yes. So as you can see friends, Visual Studio installer started as installation. So let's continue the installation. So I will say click on continue. So it will download some files here for installation, which is required here. As you can see friends, once that Visual Studio installer is completed its installation, a screen has been popped up here which says that which workloads we want to install or which technologies we want to install along with the Visual Studio community. So for example, we are here to install the MSBI. So remember that you go down here and check this data storage and processing. So what will happen? It will install the SQL Server data tools. Can you see here on the right hand side where my mouse is going here? So make sure that you select this tool set, from this workloads. And also my requirement is that I want .NET Desktop development. So I am going to select this, and my also requirement to have ASP.NET and web development. So since I am a technical developer, I need these tools, with me. So that's why I've selected this. You can ignore this, or you can just install ASP.NET and web development along with the data storage and processing. So that is more than enough. So once you're done with this selection, okay, I request that you select the install while downloading option. Why? Because so it will download and install together only. If your internet speed is very slow, then it is recommended that you should download all first and then install. If your internet speed is good, then choose the first option. So I am going to choose the first option because my internet speed is good. So I'm going to say install now. So friends, as you can see here, our installation has been started here, and it is going to download 2.62 GB into my system. Along with that, it is going to install automatically only, that is 445 package. So it will take some time, so let's wait here. As you can see friends, I have downloaded everything successfully. Now almost my installation package is going to get complete. As you can see, 96% it is almost done. It is finishing up, as you can see. So yes, as you can see, so success. One more step to go. Please restart your computer before you start the Visual Studio Community 2019. So yes, we need to restart our computer. So let me do that. So as you can see friends, we have successfully installed the Visual Studio 2019. So let me open it. So this is the Visual Studio 2019, as you can see here, 2019 version, and this is the community edition, this is a free edition, this is a developer edition. So you can use it, you can download it, you can work on this developer edition. So in order to start the Visual Studio, we need to sign in. So I will say not now, maybe later. So I am going to say a blue theme. So it will take some time to prepare for the first use. So let's wait. So there you go. A Visual Studio 2019 screen has been popped up here, which says that you can create a new project, you can do much more stuff. So I will say continue without code. As you can see, we have successfully downloaded and installed the Visual Studio 2019. Now it's time to go to the another installation, that is SQL Server 2019 installation. So for the same, I'm going to go to my Google Search Console and I'm going to say SQL Server 2019 download. So this is the search result which I got here. So let me click on the first link here. So this is the link. Remember, I'm going to provide all the download links in the video description box below, so don't worry about the links here. So once you come to this link, once you open this link, you will find below here a free specialized edition version to download. So that is the developer edition and express edition. So here for us, since we are practicing, since we are developing, since we are learning, so we need to use this developer edition. So let me click on this download link. So I will say download. As you can see, exe has been popped up. I will say save file. So now let me just click on the installation exe file. I will say open. I said yes. As you can see, a screen has been popped up here saying that what type of installation we need to do. Select the installation type, whether we want to do the basic one, whether we want to do custom or download media. So here I am going to select custom. right? Specify the location. I will say install. So remember the download size is 1426 MB. Okay, so let me say install here. As you can see, it is downloading the installation packages here. So my downloading is completed, and as you can see, the installation center has been opened up here. So you can see we have the planning here, we have the installation, we have the maintenance, we have the tools, resources, and advanced option. So in order to install the SQL Server, we need to click on the installation here. So as you can see, so you will get a different options here. So don't look at any other option, just go and click on the first option, that is the new SQL Server standalone installation. So click on that link. So since it is my developer edition, so I'm going to select my product key type as a developer edition only. Okay, in case if you have a product key, you can enter a product key and proceed further. Okay, so here I'm going to say next. License terms, I will agree. So I will say next. So the installation of rules has been completed. So I will say next here. As you can see, a feature selection screen has been popped up here. From here we need to select the features which we want to install with the SQL Server. So I am going to say install data quality services, install the analysis services, install the data quality client, install the integration services. So that's it, I'm done. So these are the options you need to select and just click on next here. So this is the instance configuration. So here you can give the instance name. So here I'm leaving as it is as a default instance. So I recommend that leave as it is default instance only. So and click on next here. So as you can see, a server configuration screen has been popped up here. Here you can grant the configuration here, you can grant the permission here. So I am going to check on this checkbox and I am going to say next. Keep as it is every setting, don't change anything. I will tell you wherever you want to change the settings, I will tell you that. So here's the configuration again. So here you have to give the user here for authentication. So there you see we have the authentication mode as Windows authentication mode. So here let me add a user here. So I will say add current user. In case if you want to go with the SQL Server authentication and Windows authentication, you can choose this option and you can enter the password. So here I don't want to do anything like that. Okay, so let me say next now. So now we are at the analysis services configuration screen. So here we need to choose the server mode, how we want to install this instance SQL Server. Whether we want to install with the multi-dimensional mode, then we need to select the first option. If we want to install with the tabular mode, then we need to select this, then power pivot mode, then we need to choose this one. So depending on your requirement, you can install the instance, depending on the server mode. So here I am going to choose a multi-dimensional mode here. In case if I want to install tabular mode along with the multi-dimensional mode, then I have to run this installation again. And when this screen appears, that time I am going to choose a tabular mode. Okay. So here my requirement is multidimensional only. So I am going to choose multidimensional and I will say add current user. As you can see. So here I am going to say next. That's it. Now we need to click on the install button to start the installation. As you can see friends, our SQL Server 2019 installation has been completed successfully. As you can see, so it is successful. Now let me close this. Yes. So we have completed the two setup, that is the Visual Studio setup and also the SQL Server 2019 setup. Now it's time to download and install SQL Server Management Studio for SQL Server 2019. So now let me go to my Google Search Console and let me write here SQL Server Management Studio, and this is the first link which I got here in the search result. Let me click on that. So as you can see, we are on the download of SQL Server Management Studio SSMS, and here is the latest version. That, as you can see, 18.8 is the latest version, that is the general availability version. So let me just click on this link. So as you can see, the file size of this SSMS is 640 MB. So let me just say save file. As you can see on the top, we have successfully downloaded the file here of SSMS setup. So let me just click on this file. So there you go, our SSMS installation started here. As you can see, so we need to just click on install button to start the installation. As you can see friends, our SSMS setup is completed successfully. Now we need to close this. So there you go. So what all we have installed till now? Visual Studio 2019, SQL Server 2019 and SQL Server Management Studio 2019. Now it's time to install the SSDT tools, that is integration services, analysis services and reporting services. So let's install one by one. So for that, let's go to our Visual Studio and let's go to the extension manager. Click on the manage extensions. Now here in this manage extension, what you have to do, you have to go to the search here and just type integration. So I will say integration services. So as you can see, we have here SQL Server Integration Services project. Just click on the download, save. So it is the 434 MB size file, so it will take some time to download. So as you can see, we have successfully downloaded the file here. Let me just run the exe. So here we need to specify the language of installer. So I am going to say English United States. I will say OK. Here I am going to say next. Yes, install this product for Visual Studio instance only, that is Visual Studio Community 2019. I will say install. So it is asking me to close some process, before to start the installation. So let me just close everything here. As you can see friends, since my Visual Studio was opened, so I have closed that, and my SQL Server was also opened, so I have closed that, and once I closed everything, my setup has started installing, as you can see here. So there is a progress here, as you can see. So let's wait for installation. It will take some time. So if you get such error, then you need to close the Visual Studio, or you need to also close your browser also. You need to also close your SQL Server Management Studio also to start this setup. So I did that. So once I did that, so I got this installation gets going. So as you can see here, our SQL Server Integration Services setup is completed. Let's close it. Now it's time to install the analysis services. So for that, let's open up our Visual Studio again. So as you can see, a screen has been popped up. So here I am going to say continue without code. Here I am again going to my extension, manage extension. Now instead of integration services, here I will say analysis. Just type analysis, it's fine. So as you can see, Microsoft Analysis Services project. Just click on the download here. So download is started. As you can see friends, below there is a one message has been popped out. Can you see? Your changes will be scheduled. The modification will begin when all the Microsoft Visual Studio windows are closed. So let's close it. So we need to close everything so that an installer will start its setup. So as you can see, a screen has been started here. So the installer wants to modify the Visual Studio 2019. So let's modify it by clicking on the modify button here. So as you can see, modification begins and the new installation begins here with the analysis services. So friends, this is how we need to install the analysis services in Visual Studio 2019. So the same way we will install reporting services also. There is a slight difference of installing the integration services, but analysis services and reporting services installation steps are same. So it will take some time to modify the Visual Studio 2019. Let's wait. As you can see, Analysis Services project has been installed successfully. Let's close it. Now let's open the Visual Studio again, because now it's time to install reporting services. So I will say continue without code. Again the same steps as we did it for analysis services. Let's go to the extension manager, manage extension. So here in the search box, instead of analysis, we will write reporting. So as you can see, let's download this. So all the steps are same. As you can see, we have successfully installed the reporting services also. So let me just close this and let me just open up the Visual Studio 2019. So now let me say new project, create new project. As you can see, so here I will say integration services, integration. So as you can see, SSIS has been installed successfully. You can also see the analysis. Can you see? Analysis with the multi-dimensional mode. Yes. And even the reporting. So there you go. As you can see here. Yes. We can create the report with the wizard and with also empty report also. So this proves that we have successfully installed MSBI in our laptop successfully. So it means, as you can see, we have installed the Visual Studio, we installed the SQL Server, we installed the SQL Server Management Studio, then integration services, then analysis services, then reporting services successfully. So friends, this is how we need to install or we need to set up the MSBI 2019 in our laptop. If you have any queries or any doubt, feel free to get in touch with me on my email ID, that is questpond@questpond.com, or you can also leave your comment below of this video. So thank you friends, thanks for watching this video. Hope you liked it. Please share with your friends, like this video. Thank you.